I think they handled it well, to be honest with you. They went out, and the only thing that was missing is they like to pump up music in the locker room on their way out. They attempted to do that yesterday to start their practice, and they were shut down pretty quick there. That was the only thing that was missing. They still had the excitement, the enthusiasm. He actually had a chance right before they ran out in the tunnel. I got a good look at Chris Beard's face, and he turned around and looked to his coaching staff, and you could just tell him, how about this, look where we're about to be, and then they ran out on the court. They held their own. I got to watch a little bit of the earlier practices. Certainly a laid-back crew. They went through their same routine they've had in Tulsa during the first two rounds, and then Anaheim last week there in the Sweet 16 in the Elite Eight game. But it doesn't seem like the stage is phasing them. We got to hear Raider Power, which is a chant all the Lubbock fans will know all too well. A great Texas Tech contingent in the stands watching today's practice. I think they're ready to go. They're cool, they're calm, all of that stuff. It doesn't seem like the moment is phasing them. Now, saying that, Chris Beard did say smell the roses and be us yesterday when we had a chance to visit with him during the media availability. They definitely are soaking all of it in, but they're not letting it overwhelm them.
Well, Chris Beard is such an awesome story, and a little bit on him. We have seen Tech's strength realized in this tournament. They are #1 in the country in defensive efficiency. Opponents shoot less than 37% against them. A number like that means you're going to win, of course, most of your game. And, of course, Chris Beard is the engineer of that defense as the head coach. Explain how he has got this team to buy in at that level.
Well, they've done it from day one, and I mentioned this several times when I'm talking to people. When you go out there and watch a Texas Tech practice, it's a little bit different than the other teams at different regional sites. They're all shooting threes and going through that routine. They do charge drills numerous times during practices out here. Something that is not lost on Tom Izzo. He mentioned it just a few minutes ago during his final press conference. The fact that you're going to see them take charges, much like a Bob Knight defense. And I will mention this as one of the assistant coaches, a guy that people in Texas know all too well is Mark Adams, one of the assistant coaches on the staff. He's kind of the mastermind behind this defense, the guy that is watching film the second a game is over. We talk to him between games because we know we're going to get the good information from Coach Adams. But he's kind of the mastermind behind it. Chris Beard certainly gets the message across to him, but we go back to it. It's a team effort. You got these graduate transfers, and Matt Mooney just wreaked havoc on Brandon Clark in Gonzaga last week there in Anaheim. Tariq Owens provides the protection around the rim as the shot blocker. Norton Todiasi is a guy that isn't going to give you many numbers. It's not going to be that flashy. But in one of those NCAA tournament games, he had like 5 rebounds in the first couple minutes of the game, set the tone in the paint, and that's something that he's definitely going to have to do against one of the top rebounding teams in the country in Michigan State whenever this game tips off tomorrow evening here at US Bank Stadium.
And the cool thing, David, is if the country hasn't watched Texas Tech and they haven't seen Big 12 basketball very much, maybe they haven't watched much of the West region in the tournament, they're going to see Jarrett Culver, and he is worth seeing. 22 points a game in this tournament. And for people who are just seeing him for the first time, describe him as a player and maybe how he's changed the face of the Tech program.
Well, he's selfless, I mean, I know that Chris Beard would say if he was here, he would say, we had Keenan before us and Jarrett's the next guy in line. But he's a selfless guy. He wants to do just as well on the defensive end, on the offensive end. You just don't see the flashy stuff. He's not the guy that wants to be in the front of the camera and being the face of the program, but he'll gladly take the ball to the basket if they need a bucket in a tight situation. As you mentioned, averaging those 22 points. He's done it over and over in the NCAA tournament, and the Red Raider fans just need to soak it in this week and hope they get 80 more minutes of basketball from him, because his time in a uniform as a Red Raider is quickly coming to an end, and hopefully he can continue to build on that legacy. He's already a legend in Lubbock, Texas, his hometown. He stayed at home to play for the Red Raiders. Now he's trying to bring some more hardware back home.
They're going to love him forever, man.